All right, everyone, Mr. Beast is taking a new L. Beast Games, the flashy, multi-million-dollar reality show hosted by none other than Mr. Beast himself, might just be hiding a dark secret behind all the cash prizes and over-the-top stunts. You might think, come on, it's a show about winning $5 million. How bad could it possibly be? Well, apparently, it's pretty bad. Today, we're diving into the new class action lawsuit that just dropped, where contestants on this highly anticipated show are coming forward with some serious jaw-dropping claims. We're talking unpaid wages, unsafe working conditions, sexual harassment, and even allegations of tax fraud. And if that wasn't enough, these contestants were saying they were treated more like lab rats than contestants, all while being filmed for your viewing pleasure. So how did Mr. Beast, one of the biggest names on YouTube, get caught up in such a mess? Are these contestants merely out to get a quick buck, or is this the reality of reality TV? Stick around, because what's happening in this lawsuit could reshape the entire landscape of influencer-run productions. Trust me, this is a legal battle you're not going to want to miss. Imagine signing up for a game show. You might expect fame, fortune, and a chance to hang out with Mr. Beast himself. But you realize that you've been roped into a full-time job just without the paycheck. This class action lawsuit hinges on a critical legal question. Were these contestants actually employees? Now, under California labor law, if you're doing work that benefits a business and you're under their control, guess what? You're not just a volunteer. You might be an employee. Now, Mr. Beast Productions is saying for its part, hey, these people weren't our employees, they're just contestants. But these so-called contestants were told what to wear, where to sleep, what to eat or not eat, and we'll talk more about that later, and even when to speak. They were basically under total surveillance, and the production staff called all the shots. Under California law, California has what's called the ABC test to determine whether workers are employees. And it determines these factors. A, are they under the company's control? B, are they doing work central to the business? And C, are they not independently running their own shop? So how does this test apply to this situation? Well, these contestants were definitely doing work central to the production. After all, without them, there's no show. So could Mr. Beast owe them a paycheck? Legally speaking, under California law, there looks like there could be a case. But hey, being unpaid is just the start of the complaints. Let's talk about how these contestants were fed, or rather, how they weren't fed. You'd probably expect a show with rumors of up to $100 million budget could at least afford a decent lunch for its contestants, right? Well, apparently, think again. One of the more shocking allegations in this lawsuit is that contestants were deprived of basic necessities. We're talking food, water, sleep, even medicine. The plaintiffs claim they were given sporadic and sparse meals, which basically consisted of a couple of carrot sticks and some oatmeal. Doesn't exactly scream fine dining. And then once again, there's that California labor law, a pesky thing. Employees, if we're calling them that, are entitled to meal breaks and rest periods. And if you don't get those breaks, well, that's money production owes them. This lawsuit points out contestants worked long hours, so long, in fact, that some apparently ended up in the hospital. It sounds less like a game show and more out of the scene of Survivor minus the tropical island. When you deprive people of food and rest, and they work long hours, the law says you might have to compensate them. And let's just say, if the court rules in favor of the contestants, Mr. Beast might be writing checks much bigger than those $10,000 getaways he loves to film. But hey, unsafe working conditions go beyond just being hangry. Let's talk about some of the dangers on set. If you thought reality TV could be hazardous to your dignity, it turns out in this case, it might be also hazardous to your health. Contestants are alleging that the set of Beast Games was more dangerous than some of the stunts Mr. Beast puts in his videos. We're talking about people getting injured during physically intense challenges. Apparently, one of the challenges was lifting a 10,000-pound boulder, running around like maniacs in a so-called capture the flag game, but all without proper medical care or supervision. Under negligence law, the production of anything has a duty to ensure that the challenges to those who participate are safe. If someone gets hurt, and it's because the company failed to provide reasonable safety measures, that's negligence. It's like sending someone into a boxing match, but without the regulation gloves. Sure, it might be entertaining, but if they end up with a broken nose, someone might have to pay. If these contestants can prove the production was negligent, the damages here could be huge. We're talking about medical expenses, pain and suffering, emotional distress, you name it. And speaking of distress, this lawsuit isn't just about the physical injury. Some of those emotional scars might cut even deeper. And just when you thought things couldn't get any worse, apparently they do. Allegations of a boys club mentality and outright sexual harassment, you better believe that's in the lawsuit too. Female contestants have come forward saying that Beast Games fostered a culture of misogyny and sexism. They claim they were subjected to degrading behavior and comments while production staff turned a blind eye. In fact, there's even mention of a handbook that seems to encourage this frat house atmosphere with lines like, "Help the boys be idiots," making a lovely appearance. California's Fair Employment and Housing Act is designed to protect workers from exactly this kind of hostile environment. If proven, these allegations could lead to serious liability for production companies involved. If the production company knew about the harassment and did nothing to stop it, they could be in some serious hot water. If this were a regular office environment, the company would be on the hook for harassment claims in a heartbeat. So does reality shows get a pass? Spoiler alert, in this situation, probably not. So we've covered unpaid wages, unsafe conditions, and harassment. But somehow we're still not done, because there's a little thing called tax fraud that's also being thrown into the mix. If you thought this was just a simple game show lawsuit, think again. There's a subplot involving tax fraud, and it's juicy. The plaintiffs in this case allege that production secured $2.5 million in tax credits from the state of Nevada by misclassifying the contestants as volunteers. Basically, they're saying the show lied to Nevada officials to save a few bucks. If this is true, it could lead to criminal liability for the production company. Tax fraud cases can be no joke. If you lie on your taxes or give false information to the government, it's not just a civil issue. You might be dealing with the potential for criminal charges, penalties, and massive fines. If Nevada's tax authorities get involved, Mr. Beast and his team could be facing more than a few lawsuits. They could even be facing an audit that makes the IRS look like Santa Claus. So where does this all leave us? It's a lot to unpack, but let's discuss what happens next. We've covered some serious heavy allegations today, from potential labor violations and negligence to harassment and tax fraud involving multiple states. Beast Games might be the legal drama of the year. But what does it mean for Mr. Beast and the future of the influencer-run productions? This lawsuit could reshape how reality shows, especially those run by YouTubers, are made. If the court winds up siding with the contestants, it's not just about paying damages. It could mean new legal precedent for influencer-led productions, stricter legal regulations, and even changes on how we view contestants on shows like this. And if Mr. Beast loses, the cost won't just be financial. It could be a mark that ends the Mr. Beast franchise as we know it. So let me turn it over to you, and what do you think? With a few questions. Are the contestants right in claiming that they should be treated like employees, or do you think it's all just part of a game? Should Mr. Beast be held responsible for what happened behind the scenes of his production, or is this just what happens when people sign up for reality TV? And last but not least, does this lawsuit make you think twice about watching those high-stake competition shows? Let me know what side you're on in the comments below, and trust me, I'll be reading them all. Until next time, I've been Uncivil Law, and remember to keep it uncivil out there.